Well, the Secretary came out, really an extraordinary address, a speech, farewell speech to essentially confirm that he was leaving and not of his own volition.
What is most important is to ensure an orderly and smooth transition.
And really emotional, at least emotional for him, who was very staid and low-key. His voice cracked several times, was wavering throughout. It was clearly an emotional moment for the Secretary. This announcement, of course, follows his firing by President Trump earlier this morning, something about which there is a dispute over whether he knew it was coming or not.
Secretary Tillerson, are you committed to staying in your position as Secretary of State?
I'm not going anywhere.
How long will you stay for?
As long as the President lets me.
Aides to Tillerson, including one who was fired very shortly after releasing a statement that said that the Secretary had intended to stay on in his job and had not been informed of the reason that he was being replaced.
Morning.
They tell a different story than what the White House officials tell, which is that the Chief of Staff, John Kelly, called Secretary Tillerson in Africa and told him that the President wanted to make a change and he should be prepared for it. So this all follows 13 months, almost 14 months of what had been intense on-again, off-again speculation that Trump was unhappy with his Secretary of State and that he wanted him replaced with someone who was a bit more like-minded. And we have the situation with Russia, where Secretary Tillerson just last night, as he was coming back from Africa, was very critical of Russia and the attack on the former Russian spy in the United Kingdom, whereas the White House had been much more muted on that point. Secretary-designate Pompeo has been critical of Russia, but not nearly as forcefully as Secretary Tillerson has been. So I think that that'll be something else that we'll be looking toward as things progress.